breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page light is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells you when Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that is trying to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Friday, and time to talk weather. I think I got everything working. If you haven't figured it out, I'm the producer, director, host. Let me get my light a little brighter. We did a podcast last night and I had everything all a little different last night, so I think it's good enough. All right, so what's up, our Conehead family? I just saw a lot of people say good morning, family. We are family. We're a big weather family. Our little page we call Mike's Weather Page is still a big secret in the weather world, so welcome and thank you for being a part of our little thing we got going. Had a great podcast last night with Stormfront Freaks. I hope you got to see it. They'll have it all put together next week. I'll share the heck out of it. Talked a lot last night about everything. I thought it was pretty good. Entertaining, a lot of great information. The hosts were awesome. I felt a little intimidated because we had some people on there, that they've interviewed a lot higher ups than me. So it was a great time, though. It was better than I expected. I can't wait to share it. So, yeah, Shelly, I saw you over there, Miss Shelly. All right, so we're going to say hi to everybody. No dogs today. We have softball weekend, so I always bring back memories. This is Emily's first dog ever. 17-year-old puppy. Still looks like a puppy, man. I don't know what kind of drugs he took. But still looks like a puppy 17 years later. This is all we got. Huey. Hunter and Louie are at the home away from home as we got to head out of town for a couple days. So that'll be kind of fun. So there's no dog today. So he's kind of hanging up there, always looking at me. So, yeah, we're going to say hey to everybody. Hey, some people watched it. Cool. Awesome. Well, good morning. All right. Well, our daily brew, we talk weather. There's some topics to talk about. We're going to get into right quick. Nothing officially on the NHC radar, but that's to be expected. Nothing's expected in the next 7 days at least. It's brought to you by our great friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Always on Friday, we talk about them a little bit more. So when you're heading home today, thinking about the weekend, pull in there. Support them. Tell them you're part of our MWP Conehead family. And thank them for all their support. Also want to do a shout out locally here to our Done Right Roofing crew, man. They do a lot here in our local area, Pinellas, Hillsborough, Pasco, and do a lot of local sports sponsorships, sponsor our Palm Harbor big old parade we shared last couple months ago, and do an amazing job. So if you see the orange and blue trucks around, they're big Mike's Weather Page fans. They'll be hitting ABC tonight because you know them roofers. I'm sure they like to drink. All right, so there's your tropical update. Let's say hi to some folks. Miss Shelley's our admin over there on the other coast. Jonathan, what's up in Charleston? Brian Morris, good morning. Renee, good morning. From Eustis. That sounds like some town from Smokey the Bandit. I'm thinking Buford T. Justice. I don't know why I'm thinking Eustis. Wasn't that the kid's name maybe? I don't remember. Teresa, good morning. Mikey, you finally get to catch a live. Good to see you. Everybody grab your Louis cups. And Spirit of Louis, he's not here today. Cheers. As we talk tropics in a second. I don't have much patience. I don't think I'd be able to sit through these good morning lives, but everybody likes them. I like doing them. I wouldn't like watching them. And let me tell you, so our finished product on the, I got to share it because we shared it a couple days ago. We got the parking spot done, and I am sore as can be. But there it is. It came out awesome. Later Dudes. That was Emily's parking spot right there. It came out good. Everybody asked me to share it. I thought I was going to pass out. I will admit, a couple times, man, I felt heat exhaustion. Like, parking lot. A couple times I told Julie, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting dizzy. But it's done. I did my part. When she goes to school, she thinks of dear old dad. She'll remember dear old dad sweating his ass off. Hopefully. Good morning, Erica Meadows. Good morning. Thank you, Mary. Lori Rye, what's up, Miss Bermuda girl? Good morning. Thank you. What's up, Mr. Eric? Rays are back on today. Can't wait. Hopefully we get to watch them tonight somewhere. I think it's on Apple. Oh, tonight's the night. They're on Apple TV. That stinks. Northeast Heathers. Yes, I just posted that for you up there. I try to cover all parts of the U.S., at least when there's weather. And the Northeast today. And you got a SPC Day 4 outlook coming up that you need to watch out for. Big storms up north. What's up, Meg from Savannah? Detroit, Eric says. Jacksonville, Colleen. Good. How's it going? Rain's heading towards you, Colleen. Got big old storms coming in from the northwest. Thank you, Miss Cindy Robertson. Thank you, Maya. Appreciate it. Love all the interaction. We love everybody. Growing big time. We got Facebook, Twitter now. We got some subscribers on Twitter now. Really appreciate it. If you're watching, thank you. Supporting our page. All means a lot. Cool beans. All right. So we wake up every morning. We hope to. That's my, and by the way, I'm 49 and I felt like an old man yesterday. I told Julie this morning, I can't even bend over. I need like a massage or something. My legs are so tight. So we always wake up and look at this graphic. No tropical development expected in 7 days. That's all you need to know right there. So I keep talking about a wave. We're going to go into all that right now. Then we're going to talk about general weather. I want to talk all tropics right now. As far as officially forecast goes, don't get caught up on the Mike hype. If you ever get worried about the Mike hype, turn the channel. Because I've always talked about long-range possibilities, predictions, models, But if you want to know official information, always go back to National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center. Here is the latest radar, and now we're going to talk tropics. But look at this big old line, man. I shared it this morning, man. They had some flash flooding. They got 7, 8, 9 inches of rain up there in northern parts of Tennessee, up in the Missouri, Kentucky. So that's coming south into the Panhandle a little bit, down into Savannah, Jacksonville area. So watch for that today. We'll get into that more later. All right. Here is what it looks like. This is the tropics this morning. So there is a wave out there. Keisha, look at that from... God, I don't know my flags. Is that... Oh, God, what flag is that? Oh, I feel bad. What is that, Keisha? Is that Jamaica or no? Green and black. I can barely see it. That's a problem. Oh, I said X. Jamaica. Got that right. Good morning. All right, so this is what I posted earlier. This is a wave just south of Cape Verde Island, southwest a little bit. You can see clear rotation. This is called the Intertropics Convergence Zone right here. But man, oh man, oh man, we got this little guy, and we got another little one that popped off. And we got this little guy that's not showing any rotation really, but lots of moisture out there, right? This wave has got my attention, though. Big time. And we're going to talk about that wave right now. So, let's pop on another thing I posted. All right. So, this is a long-range European ensemble plot that blends in color to show higher chances. The more ensembles that agree with each other, the more the color changes. Kind of like a chameleon. High confidence, at least for timing goes, and almost placement, that next Friday, today's Friday, that wave will be somewhere there. All right, it's time for a YouTube click. I'm going to cover my face today. That'd be kind of funny. Okay. Gotta get my thumbnail. So we've been shown a lot with this European ensemble list. So what the ensembles do is they blend in all their... I gotta fix my chair. I was noticing that last night. My chair's getting squeaky. There you go. The ensembles have backed down a little bit. Like the majority of them never had majority ensemble support as far as development goes. But man, I'm telling you, this area next Friday is looking suspicious. That's all I got to say about that. Squeak, squeak. Now, I did bring this up. I just posted this online. Every year, it seems like there's a buzzword. Buzz. This year's buzzword has been African dust in Atlantic water temperature. Nobody's talked about the MJO yet. I have not seen any mention of the MJO. Some years, that's all you hear about is the MJO. Well, this year, nobody's really mentioned it. So I looked at the MJO. Miss Katie Haley yesterday mentioned the MJO. I always look at the MJO. No hangover today, Scott. For you, maybe? I had a couple of my TBBCs last night. That's all. I feel good. Need a little WD-40. I live on shoe goo, tie straps, duct tape, and then WD-40. Those are your like 4 essentials in the world. And a good bag of terry cloths, which I need to order. I go through terry cloths, and I have a special pile of dirty terry cloths that I use to help start fires. Fire pit story the other night. I go out there the other night, went to reposition the fire pit because it was at a little angle. The damn bottom fell through. Time for a new one. Shelly just posted the MJO, what it means. Thank you, Shelly. So the MJO is a fascinating thing. If you ever go to this page called Mike's Weather page, it's a great page. There's a lot of information on here. I have a thing on the MJO. You click on it. There's the MJO. It's a eastward movement wave in the upper atmosphere that allows uprising thunderstorms, basically. when this wave passes overhead, it's a phenomenon that they've discovered that when this wave passes over, thunderstorms have a better ability to grow upwards. It's an enhanced phase of the atmosphere, and thunderstorm growth is more easy. When it's suppressed stage, it's more sinking air, kind of easy way to put it, and kind of squashes thunderstorm activity. So when it's green, enhanced, meaning favorable conditions, orange, not favorable, in a nutshell. Doesn't always guarantee anything. It takes a bazillion factors for tropics to man, that squeak's got me going now. A lot of factors in tropical development, but this is one usually people talk about more. They're not talking about it. Now, what I noticed this morning was a couple things. There's two different versions of graphics you can look at. This is kind of like your upper wind shear velocity map, same general thinking, but as we get into middle part of August here, let's just say the 13th, because that's the following weekend, we're green. We're not orange, we're green. The other thing we're going to look at is the actual MJO forecast here. And we're seeing day 1 to 5, day 6 to 10, day 11 to 15 blue. So kind of showing you that as we enter middle August here, that we'll have a favorable MJO setting. So that's that. So let me close that out. Let me close out that. Let's take a look at our wave. So we got all kinds of, signals that the Atlantic is juicy, but the NHC isn't buying any of it, at least in the next 7 days. So let's look at the water vapor map first. I like to look at water vapor maps. Water vapor maps are great because they show you middle level. What we're seeing here is this. So here's the most suspicious wave of them all. This guy right here. This is not really showing up on any models, but look what it's doing. It's kind of juicing up the atmosphere. Now, a long time ago, before we all got sciencey and thought we knew more than we know, because you can't know more than Mother Nature, you would always see a wave out in front of the first real true Cape Verde system that would clear the way. So I don't know if that's what we're seeing here or not, but the atmosphere doesn't look all that bad right now as far as moisture goes. Yellows are deep, dry air, but the current look at the water vapor loop shows just a lot of moisture out there. Like I said, the first wave didn't really show much spinach. Now we got another wave coming up to the islands here, Barbados and the Lesser Antilles. So there's a lot of juice out there. We'll see. What happens. But this is the one we're watching. The one behind it's very interesting. No models are really predicting on that one to get going. But I always, if you want to, I kind of found myself not doing that this year. But on the very top of my page here, if you go to Tropical Discussion, you can read about these waves, and the NHC does a great job of talking about these waves. Sometimes the waves travel at different speeds due to trade winds and all, but all three of these tropical waves are moving around 15 knots, 15 to 20 knots, 15 to 20 knots. So, sometimes they run into each other, but right now they're all kind of running in unison. They're in unity. So we look at water vapor. I love this map. Obviously, it's not official, but it's our lower level winds. We look at 850 as a bottom line number. 850 kind of shows you spin in the atmosphere, and I'm telling you what, I'm really surprised the lack of discussion about this system right now. Both of them actually. There's just like people are quiet now. Colorado State University. I should have talked about this because I forgot. I tweeted it and I X'd it and I shared it on Facebook. Colorado State University came out yesterday with their updated forecast. Now, they do this now. Everybody laughs at them. I understand. It's like, okay, we do one in June, and, we need to update it. It's like, okay, well, but bottom line, they have an updated for hurricane season for the rest of the season, and they are still predicting 18 named storms, including the 5 that we had, still meaning 13 storms to come. And that's above average. So they are still expecting an above average season here August 3rd. So that, eventually we're going to have 13 more storms. According to them. So anyway, that's what that looks like. We look at 700 millibar. Got a little spin. I don't know. The way I used to do things, that looked suspicious to me. 500. Got a little spin on both of these guys. So, But officially nothing to worry about. I know we have the ITCZ line, Intertropics Convergence Zone. This one's actually looks like it's trying to break off of that a little bit. Every time I lean, the chair leans. Listen, I can make voice emotions without like this, like uh-oh. This thing just started doing this. I got a new mouse that didn't click. Now we got a chair to squeak. There's always going to be noise in our daily brew, whether it's a clicking mouse, a dog that snores, or a chair that squeaks. What's up, Sean? See you at Chili's, Massachusetts. Forzen, is that how you say it over there on YouTube? I agree. This 7-day outlook might be tricking them. We've had 2 waves now that were in red, high chances of development that fizzled. So, damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Because you start to lose trust. If you highlight every wave and they don't materialize, then it's like, but. So that's that. We'll see. Let me show you some other stuff here. As we do. Brandy, good morning. 2 eyes, I know. Looking at you. You see my Halloween picture? If you followed us, we love Halloween. We gave away a Furman generator at Halloween, and it was set up in our front yard with. In fact, we're going to be doing those one of these days. I know, Jason, you're listening. Birds. I forgot the birds. Who mentioned the birds? God, that was years ago. Are you a diehard? Who said that? Who said the birds? That's a diehard fan right there. Totally forgot about the birds. We had birds. Oh, Chris. My boy Chris. So, Jason, if you listened. Jason, I know you're there. So, we're going to do a generator giveaway. That's the most funnest post on the planet. We're going to come up with something fun when we get back. Maybe we'll do something fun. I love doing those. Oh, my God, they're so fun. We have everybody share a picture, and we put everybody's name in a hat and draw for a generator. I think it's fun, at least. So, I think we did one time. You had to be in a hammock, and everybody's like, it's not fair. You got to go buy a hammock. I'm like, true. I wasn't thinking about that. Plus, like somebody said, how's my 85-year-old mom going to crawl into a hammock and take a picture? And I'm like, you're probably right. My mom wouldn't climb. So anyway, we'll come up with something fun. Maybe we'll do it with pets or something. Share your favorite pet picture. Or maybe we'll do something with first responders. Maybe, something on that theme. I don't know. We'll let Jason figure it out. Jason, we're going to be in Orlando this week if you want to sneak away. That might be trouble. All right, so there you go. All right, so I posted this map yesterday. Got a lot of people confused. I even think people were mad at me. Like, why are you confusing us, Mike? Like, I'm sorry. All right. So my buddy Ed Petrowski up there in, I think he's South Carolina, right? Love the guy to death. Sam, what's up, buddy? You're watching on Instagram. Need to watch on Instagram. Pets would be cool, Liz, right? I'm going to make my own, Bill Barber, I'm going to make my own fire pit. I'm tired of buying these damn things. They don't last long. Show us your best mullet. Stephanie Stokes, how's it going up there? My buddy Mark Sheldon, Mr. Mayor, trying to get him to go on our cruise. the booze cruise. Or no, it's the brew cruise. I like the booze cruise. All right, so what does this map mean, by the way? It's in the bottom of my page. Ed Petrowski had one similar. This one is the official one that links to FSU website. I was going to draw one, but to me it makes more sense to just link to the big dogs. This one is put out by the Risk Prediction and the RPI. So what does this map? What does this map mean? All right, not meaning to ignore our good friends in Jamaica, the Caymans, the Virgin Islands. This is a map for the United States. But if a system is here, all you got to do is say, okay, unless you're colorblind, I don't know what to do then. That's not fair, is it? Man, what would you do if you're colorblind? Man, I have a lot of friends that are colorblind. I'd have to ask them, what the heck would you do? So if a wave is here, which we're kind of watching that wave right now, you just look at the color map. Look, this is basically where we're at. 8 to 10 days. 8 to 10 days, this wave could make it to the United States. Match the colors up. If a wave is here, light green, 5 to 6 days. If the wave is in orange, 2 to 3 days. It's a rule of thumb. There's no scientific. It's just on average. This is if we have a system, not a wave, system, wave, whatever. This is the timing it usually takes to get to where it's going. It's just a general idea to put in your head, timing, because everybody's always asking me timing. So let's talk about this one more time. So there's the light green. This is the wave we're watching. It's actually down here somewhere. 8 to 10 to 11 days, a week, basically 8 days, let's say. Let's say 9 days. 8 to 9 days. To be at the United States. All right. So let's look at the individual models. Well, let's go back to that ensemble thing that I showed you. So remember, 8 to 9 days to hit the United States if it was going to make it over here. The ensemble blend that I showed earlier, showing you possibilities of anything coming right here. This is Saturday the 12th. Now, this isn't a hurricane. It's not a major. This is maybe just a tropical wave. But the Euro is saying something could be right here around Saturday the 12th. And that's how many days? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 days. Here. Still gives it a day or two to hit, if it were to hit or make impact. So that's what that means. People always ask, how long is it going to take to get here, if it's going to get here? This is next Sunday. Notice there's really nothing picking up on that wave that just plopped off of Africa behind it. Maybe they'll merge together. Maybe that moisture will become one. And there is still signs of another wave coming down the road next following weekend. But this is the area we're watching. Now let's look at individual models. Let's start out with the worst case scenario, just so I don't lose people. Canadian model used to be nicknamed constantly making canes because it was terrible. Then there for like the last 2-3 years, it has not been that terrible. It's a little aggressive, I've noticed this year on formation. Shelly says we got some new cruisers. That's awesome. Good morning, Mr. Isaac Taylor. Mike Bauer says he's colorblind too, man. Shared a funny story. I'd hate it. But I guess you get used to it. I figured out my contact situation. I just have an 850 and an 800, man. I can see up close and far away now. My eyes have adapted. I don't have to deal with wondering which ones to put in. All All right, here's the Canadian model. We're going to fast forward things to the Western Atlantic. Let's take a look at next Thursday. So the Canadian's showing development. And showing decent development next Sunday. A week from Sunday. So there you go. If you see me looking down all the time, I'm looking at the dates because I always want to make sure I'm not like a week ahead or week behind. So the Canadian's pretty aggressive, showing the following weekend. This would be the 13th, just to show you, what the general thinking is here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. GFS, let's go to Euro. Nada. Now we're going to show you some European ensembles. European is just showing a blob of moisture. Very hard to distinguish, but it's there. This is basically the low pressure juice showing up. Doesn't really do much. So that's good news. I'm not even going to bother showing vorticity anymore because it looks like I'm wish casting. But your basic idea is this. There's a juice. Whoa, not that. There is a front coming down. It's going to allow a little bit of a lift. And if anything were to be around, it would be basically this general direct location next, Thursday, Friday-ish. You go back to CMC, a little slower. In fact, I need to zoom in on that because I think there was two ways we're looking at. I was on the 6Z. Yeah, it's just not really clear. Yesterday's 12Z was a little bit more organized. There it is. So like I posted this morning, first thing I do when I wake up, the models aren't any more enthusiastic than they were yesterday. So I said I wasn't going to show the vorticity one, but I had to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But there's the weak signature of maybe something, whereas the Canadian obviously is a lot stronger. So there's the general idea. Now let me show you the icon. The icon I really love. It's showing this for next week. Developing low pressure system. This is next Friday. It only goes out 180 hours. But it's kind of showing you the same thing. There's a wave entering there that you can see. Very weak. But the reason I show this is that particular area in the Atlantic is what we could be watching this time next week. This is next Friday. 7 days from right now. 7 days from 9/19 right now. The icon is predicting a low pressure about right there. About right there. GFS has kind of been doing it too. GFS has been showing it. You just follow the darker colors. This is just kind of showing you the wave. And it gives it a little window to develop, which makes sense, right? Here's Friday-ish. And it keeps on trucking past Florida and goes down in the Gulf, and then gives it a little window to try to develop. But we know anything in the Gulf, anything in the Western Atlantic, it's not going to stay unorganized unless it goes across mountains. But, the consistency is really there that we're going to see something around here on Friday. And whether or not it does anything, that's what we got to wait and watch and see. Let's see the latest. So the latest overnight GFS, a little bit of development. There's our wave here Friday. Boom. Nothing too organized. That's that. Let's look at some ensembles. There's another one. So yeah, it's just just Friday next week, somewhere around here. Let's look at some ensembles and see exactly what the Euro is showing. Well, actually, let's go to Weather Nerds because you can see that over here. So let's go to ECENS. These are your EPS models. Let's put it in play as we drink coffee. So in a nutshell, there's nothing official. There's nothing solid. We're just watching a wave. We talked about the MJO is going to be in an enhanced phase by the time this wave gets over to the Atlantic, Western Atlantic. And that's your latest. That's your latest thinking on the European ensembles. So what this tells you is this: really no development until maybe here. Makes sense, right? And then here's our new wave coming off of Africa. So makes sense. Nothing's changed. That's probably why the NHC doesn't have this mark. But they're also relying again too much on models, I think. They went humans versus models last week or so and models won, and now it's models versus humans. There's no win. But yeah, so there you go. We'll see. Back to my early season predictions or whatever you call them. Western Atlantic to me was where we might need to worry a little bit. A lot of wind shear in the Caribbean this time of year. Hot waters in the Western Atlantic. So there's a frontal line coming down. You can see that. It's a race. Timing. That frontal line lifts up, pulls our system a little bit. But again, until you see it on the official NHC, man, it's all speculative. This is a good site that I use. I love it. It's also on FSU. It's a long-range probability map for tropical genesis. I love the word genesis. Genesis consensus. There's obviously the Canadian model showing development. And they're also showing a little development on an old frontal line up here. We're not going to worry about that one. But this is, at least showing you there is some development. So there's that. The European, though, we didn't really show it long range. But here's what's happening in 10 days. There's this big old low pressure expected to come off. And let me show you another trend that's really odd. Picked up on it last night. So you can't really see it here so much. I mean, you can follow the blue right here. This is, that area, our low pressure area. That kind of. But what we're seeing is really weird. All right, so we got this low pressure here. Watch this little piece spit off of this guy right here. This has really been showing up on a lot of models. A little bit of low pressure gets pushed off. You can see that? Boom. And now I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I don't know if the GFS is showing it anymore, but yeah, see it? Watch this little low pressure here pop off, and it gets pushed up around that high. So here's our wave going into the Gulf, and then this little guy here separates, and it's been showing up on every model. Little low pressure following along, which is really weird. I mean, Canadians show it, Euro showed it. There's your Canadian showing it. Watch this low here. Little piece pops off, falls behind. Hey, don't forget about me. But again, strong signal that when if we're watching anything the following weekend, there's another signal that we're gonna have another low coming in off Africa. That's really showing up pretty strong on the Euro now. So as far as operational run development, big low pressure coming in off of Africa next week. It's 10 days from now, but the that spitting off thing is really interesting to me because I've been seeing it a lot. You can see it right there. Watch it. See right here. Watch this little low, and you see a little low pressure plop off and kind of come in along with our wave coming in. So very odd. So African wave that we're watching here next weekend, and then this little guy here came from up here somewhere. Nothing's showing really organized, but still interesting to watch. Hey, we have emojis now. Are emojis new? Shrimp, beer, and softball. Not necessarily in that order. Texas needs rain. Oh my God, who said that? Leslie, I agree. Texas rain is unheard of right now. So let's talk about some long-range stuff here. Here's your 5-day rain map. Nothing for Texas. A little bit maybe in the northeast corner, but look at that. Pretty much everybody's dry for the next 5 days. That's a big old high pressure blocking things. Look at the heat map. Another new heat map just came out. This is bad. This is a never-ending Summer. I know it's summer, but look, hazardous heat. I don't know what that means, hazardous heat. All a long time people are saying the same thing. I just thought it was heat. Well, you know, I mean, I tell you what, though, I felt hazardous yesterday on that parking lot. A couple of times I was like, oh, this is better than beer, man. I was like, this is tripping, man. I'm like, I'm going to fall right over. I didn't, but I could feel it coming on. So I took a break, drank a lot of water. But hazardous heat. Look at that. Hazardous heat. 8.6 to 8.10. That's the whole state of Florida. Extreme heat advisories again coming. Texas too. I know it's summer. But look what's coming up north. We got this jet stream pattern, you know, staying north, blocking high. But look at these storms. Again, northeast has been getting it. Here's the storm map today. Look. Slight risk, but a little bit of tornado chance, 2%, not impossible. You know, mainly wind and storms today. We got a low pressure area that's going to whip up these storms. Now look, tomorrow, new system starts to develop. Now watch what happens on Sunday. The whole state of Indiana, but that's kind of rare. Man, we keep getting these Great Lakes systems, and then we go to day 4. Holy moly, day 4. The whole state of Pennsylvania, West Virginia. My cousin lives in West Virginia, and my uncle's not longer with us. So look at that, man. Storms in the Northeast again on Monday. We talked about that yesterday. So anyway, breaking news: it gets hot in summer. I know. I'm done. Hey Jody, I love your flip flops. Gotta have one damn hair always poking me in the lip, man. It's like an adventure trying to find it. Hey Brian Bowles, thank you for a question there. I just saw you on Facebook. Hey man, I love the questions. He's asking about the GFS. So basically this is it. That's the GFS. Possible, yes. Definitely not a forecast. But basically, this wave right here is being watched by me. Well, everybody's watching it, not officially, but this wave's got a chance to try to sneak in somehow. You know, some of the models had it continue into the Gulf, and the timing would be the following weekend into early part of the following week. So, yes, there's this wave is what we're watching. This general wave, and yeah. Definitely not a forecast. I wouldn't cancel any plans. It's just, obviously, you be aware. This is the stages that I do. All right, so next weekend, first thing I start thinking is, first off, storm chasing. Number 2, like, what do we got going on next weekend? Because we could be looking at something coming. That's where I start thinking, okay, I better get gas. This is for my storm chaser, but it's always okay to think worst case scenario. WD-40, man. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to hype it up much anymore until we see something official. I don't want to get Wishcaster called upon me again. But that's pretty good spinach, I will admit. Let's see, there's a cat path. Sometimes they go out that far. I don't know if they're going to be. This might not be the one. What are we looking at? What degrees here? So we got to look at. Oh, that doesn't have latitude, longitude. All right, let's really digest this system here. Let's go look here at goes east. I think Weather Nerds let me do it. We can do it. We can do it. We got the power. I got the power of satellites at my fingertips. Maybe. Big old blob of storms there. All right, so this is what we're looking at. So this is basically kind of what we're looking at. Let's see if latitude, longitude shows up. If it doesn't, there's a button over here. You can make it happen. Boom. Update plot, and boom, here we go. Drum roll. There we go. So, you know what, too? Everybody, all right, so we're looking at where it's at. So it's around 3312. That's my guess. Let's go over here. Click on it right there. Boom. More like 2812. All right, so we're looking at 2812. So we're going to go back over here and pull this up. There's 12. I'm way off. So let's go back. Maybe to this guy. 28. Nope, that's too high. I'm on the wrong one. There's 28. Now I'm too high. Damn it. I missed it again. They're so hard to click. Let's go right here. Almost. I don't think there's a pass that low right there. Nope. There it is. So there's 2812. Look, see? 12. 28. There's our low. And you don't really have any big strong winds on satellite showing anything. But you see rotation. So you look at 2812, you look at convection, you start to say, okay, where's the convection at? So technically, which is amazing to me, is still the main convection is like about right here. So all this is way out in front of it. So there's your true spinach. I like College DuPage is a great site up here. DuPage, you can really look at some great satellite imagery, but I don't think it does very good that far out there, though. Well, let's do it anyways. It doesn't even have Africa. It has satellite, but you can kind of just see what's going on out there. And you can see a general spin out there. So this, we'll see. Like I say, you keep looking at that water vapor loop. It's not that bad. There's a lot of moisture out there. A lot of moisture. This is what we're looking at right here. This general area right here. Somewhere right here is Africa. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so I think we talked about a lot of stuff today. Let's see if I missed anything new that I added to the site. I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Well, I did add my couple articles. So down here, if you ever want to know cool stuff, I always share my my memories. So I had a USF interview this year. Thanks to them, you can watch it. Make sure the link works. There it is. That was a cool little interview with USF. Florida Trend Magazine had a great spread. I was a centerfold. Big article there this year. Furman behind the scenes with MWP. They did an amazing 6-minute video. I love it. Very raw. Check that out. I did a Spirit 90.5 interview this year, which you can go back and listen to. I got to fix the links. I'm glad I did that. We got to fix the link. Tampa Bay. Oh, this one just came out. The Axios interview 2023 just came out. That was August 1st. Best day ever in Tampa Bay. And then, of course, our Hurricane Awareness Car video that was on WFLA is online. Tampa Bay Times did an article on our NASCAR car, which we think is coming back. Woohoo! All right, so I got to fix that link. That was really all I added, because I had somebody ask me where the article was, and I had to find it. So I did change the radar yesterday. I told everybody I used to have the radar in this column. I moved it over here to this column, which makes more sense. So all the radar links are your first links. Storm Prediction Center stuff's right here. Satellite. So it got a good little flow to it. Cool. Any specific questions that we could do? The Wave Nair Kurt Brady was mentioned. Cindy Robinson. Cool. All right. Good to know. I'm very curious about it. I guess it's 7 days. It's got to fit their 7-day window. 7-day window next Friday would be around here. So that would be 7 days from now. But, not a lot of support on development other than the icon and CMC. So I would think at 2 o'clock. We haven't done this year. Let's do one this year. Would it be 2 o'clock? I don't know. All right. 2 o'clock. Let's just say, for example. Let's change the color. I hate doing this because I'll never get it back, but let's pick out yellow. All right. So we already established the center is around 2812. So let's go to about 3012 because it'll move a little bit by 2 o'clock. So let's say there's a circle. So we got the X. And we're going to have an arrow like this. And then we'll have the arrow open up like that. That's eventually what I think it'll look like with a 20%. Now, if we get that, give me 2 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Okay, if we get that, then I'll run in the backyard without any clothes on and scream, I like beer. No, but we don't have any neighbors, so I can do that. I hope not. So I'll screenshot that. Now I got to change my color back to red again. Well, at least it's the last color on the spectrum, so there we go. Cool. All right. That's about it. So we got some new cruisers. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Don't forget our app. A lot of people like our app. Did a little YouTube video the other day. Going to do a TikTok here in a minute. If you're a TikToker, man, I got 135,000 followers on there now. I can't believe it. So that's cool. Appreciate that. Got all the icons of where to find me up here. People always ask. It's right there. How to join the Brew Crew right here. Become a MWP subscriber. Support MWP. You can be part of our little weather family. We send out a Christmas card and some other cool stuff for everybody. And that's that. I don't know. What else we got? That's it. Mike, you're right. Not many models. This is a weird time with models. I was really shocked today to see the MJO forecast. I've been forgetting about, haven't seen the MJO discussed anywhere this year. So I was very surprised to see the MJO forecast for 2 weeks showing enhanced. So that could help any wave that gets over here. Tropical dust seems to stick around another week or two. It does seem like it peters out once it passes the Caribbean next weekend. So a little bit remains, I guess. Here's next the 12th. I mean, there's still going to be some out there. So it's not all entirely gone yet. And I'm sure part of the reason there's not a lot of love for our wave is things like this. There is a little bit of wind shear expected about that time frame. Let's take a look at that. We haven't looked at that today. I don't really find long-range wind shear maps very accurate. They seem like they change quite a bit, but we'll look at one anyways. And take a look at shear for next oh, what the hell? We're about right now. Oh, there's actually a little pocket right there. There's Saturday. Huh. That's 12th? Yeah. It's a little less shear showing up today. This is Saturday 12th. So, man, for what it's worth, a little less shear showing up next weekend. We've always seen about 20, 25 knots, but blue's under 20. And this would be next Friday, which we're seeing somewhere around here, possibly. And there you go. I don't know if it's a tut. They call these a tut, right? Tropical. Well, actually, I got a list of them. But it's a tropical trough, basically upper level winds. I think I have a good link over here. Tut, Tutt. Everything you need is on the page. You just got to look for it. Tut. Tropical upper tropospheric trough. Tropical trough. I always remember tropical trough. It's just an elongated east to northeast, west to southwest, and it's shear basically. Tut brings a lot of vertical wind shear, so but this is the one line that gets me always confused right here, because I don't like to predict anything to do with long range shear, but there are cases in where tuts actually assist genesis and intensification of tropical cyclones, so helping outflow, ventilating the system. So there's a lot. Hey. I'll never forget the storms like Dorian. Michael, too. I don't want to talk about Michael because it really brings back bad memories. But the original forecast for Michael was a tropical storm to hit Upper Gulf, and it ended up being a major. So sometimes you just gotta go with more common sense, because sometimes all this stuff just doesn't pan out. Way too much thinking involved sometimes, I think, when you just need to look at common sense, like, damn, water's hot. So I'll never forget Dorian. Dorian was expected to be a tropical storm over the Bahamas. Five days out. Not dissing any forecaster at all. Trust me, I don't want to have to make forecasts. But one point is just you can't always believe what you're seeing when there's a little bit of common sense involved. And I remember tracking Dorian, and we're like, there's no way this thing is not going to intensify over the Western Atlantic. There's just no way. The water was too hot. We were looking at things like shear, you know. It was expected to be a tropical storm, you know, deep into the life cycle. Storm. Look at this. Storm. It never was expected to be a Category 5. Never. Mother Nature, look. Storm. 5 days out. Hitting Shelly's house. Then it went to hurricane. Then it went to major hurricane. That was a scary storm. Bad for Bahamas. But this is what I'm saying, though, man. It's just like, you know, how you go from this to this. M to S in just a couple days. Tuesday forecast, tropical storm. Wednesday forecast, major hurricane. So in a matter of 24 hours, forecast went from tropical storm. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Wednesday, 11 a.m. Not even 12 hours. The forecast went from a tropical storm to a major hurricane. Talked a lot about that last night in the podcast. about Ian. And now that I'm on a roll, I'm going to have to keep talking now. Ian was very near and dear to my heart because it's local. And a lot of people were affected by that. A lot of friends. And a lot of our MWP crew. But here's so a great question was presented to me last night. Like, what takeaways can we learn, presenting information to the public? And I can go on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on and on about this. But the one thing, I could talk about everything, but the one thing that stands out more than anything, let me fast forward this here to this graphic about right here. This is what I want to talk about. So, all right, kind of weird how it fits the screen here, but that's the way it goes. Well, I can zoom it in a little more like that. All right. Think about this. Think about how true what I'm about ready to say. So, take it to 2 p.m. We're going to be on the highway by 2 p.m. All right. So, God, this cone, I could write a book about this timestamp in the history of Ian. Couple things. So, the big talking point was Ian might be strong, but Ian is going to weaken by landfall. That was the common theme on the news. It's going to weaken. And it looked like it was going to hit Friday as a weakening storm. It shifted away from Tampa. Everybody in Tampa is like, oh my God, it's great. The cone was way down here, barely touching the Fort Myers area. They thought, there's no way this ain't going to the Panhandle. When the cone itself is just an example of where the eye could go, with the effects way outside the eye. So this is what happened. I think a majority of people thought in their head, they heard it so many times, it's going to be a weakening system by landfall, and it's going to landfall Friday. So you can't tell me that there was a bunch of people down on that edge of the cone that said, even if it turns, weakening storm, because that was landfall weakening. So the problem was this right here, this and this. So when it turned, it got there 2 days earlier as a major hurricane. So it missed all this upper level wind shear that was expected in the cooler shelf waters. And it turned 2 days earlier. And it caught a lot of people off guard. I know it did. So somewhere along the line, we have to do better in explaining these scenarios to people. Because I heard firsthand a lot of people wanted to evacuate when it turned and it was too late. They're like, roads are all congested. There's no hotels. Where do you go? So it turned 2 days earlier. And instead of a hurricane, it was now a major. So those are things that are tough talking points. So anyway, that's my rant of the day. All right. Well, it is a WD-40 weekend for me. I have no links on my site. Who asked that? So you can go to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits and you can buy a 24-pack of Miller Lite, and you can one day click on every single link. And you'll be like, oh, wow. I got some cool stuff on here, man. Today, for example, I wanted to show rainfall for what happened because there's some pretty serious flash flooding going on in the Tennessee area. Click on more, and you get this secret little NOAA page that I don't even know how I found it. And you can zoom in. Whoop, not that way. You got to click here and zoom in here. Nope, that ain't it. How the hell do you do it? Oh, enable mouse wheel. There you go. Why would they not enable mouse wheel? All right, so then you do this. You come over here to Q, and you can go 6 hour total, and you can zoom in. Look at that. These are your 6 hour rain totals. 12 hour rainfall totals are upwards now to 6 to 7 to 8 to even 9 inches of rain. So you can really zoom in. You can change the opacity so you can see the cities kind of where you're at first and then go back. So like Union City, south of Sharon, this is all Tennessee. You can look at rainfall totals. So it's kind of a really cool tool that I found one day. I put it on the site. And this one's got everything, man. You got more links on here than you can ever imagine. Critical weather status. I forgot about this one. Critical weather status for today. Nothing. Hazards, wildfire, rainfall. Look at that. That's everything in a nutshell. Everything in a nutshell. Time for a TikTok. Everything in a nutshell. That would be the link called, what's Nowcast? Nowcast. Oh, that's even cooler. Like, yeah, I didn't even know about this one. Look at how cool this one is. Active alerts. Tropical cyclones, obviously we don't have that. Weather radar, we can turn that off. Turn off the satellite. Oh my goodness. You know what? I've been looking everywhere for this map. It is clean. Hide the search. Oh my God, this is awesome. Oh, this is badass. So there you go. It's clean, man. That's the one I was looking for. And I was wondering, people post it. I'm like, where'd they find that at? They found it on Mike's weather page. I had no idea I had it on there. Nowcast. Sea surface temperatures. Oh, could have used this a couple weeks ago. Water currents. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. There's your loop currents. Wow. I feel like a little kid, man. I just found a new toy. Jeez, look at you, even have nautical charts. Ain't that something? That's crazy. Nautical charts. I had no idea. That's, oh my God, look at that. Oh my goodness. You can really zoom in. You know, there's an oyster bed down here in the bay. It's only like a foot deep right here. You don't want to go there. Really good stuff, man. You can pinpoint forecasts. Oh, this is so cool. Learn something new every day. 30 seconds to load, Reamer. I know, man. I try not to, you know what really bogs it down are these animated loops. I probably got to be careful with these things because they're very, they're very big. So if you go to Goes East here, and let's say we're looking at anything, it tells you how big they are. So like this animated GIF here, Sandwich RGB, is 34 megabytes. So if I were to embed this to the site, it'd be 34 megabytes to have it to load into your browser. And so sometimes I got to be careful with stuff like that. Because it'll just eat the bandwidth up for people. So yeah. Anyway, this is high resolution. I love it. Like high resolution, man. You can go as big as, look at this. Some of these pictures, man. You can get huge. Like let's do let's go over here, tropical Atlantic. So we could go 720 by 4. That's 17 megabyte. Let's see if we crash Chrome. 17 megabyte image. Look at that. That means you could zoom the. Look at this. You can zoom this to like your county. Like, look at this. Look at the detail. I'm at 100%. I can't even get any bigger than that. Oof, we just went across the Atlantic. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. high resolution at its finest. Look at that African dust. You can see it coming off of Africa. See it? See it? See it? See it? See it? There's Cape Verde Island. See that? See that? See it? Here's our wave. Right there. So, purdy. Cool. All right. Well, I rambled on more than an hour. How about that? So, we will be live Monday for the Daily Brew. Appreciate you watching on all our platforms. Thanks, Miss Shelley. We got a lot to pack up for our trip, but I'll be tracking Tropics on my mobile setup, and we'll see at 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock if we get a little circle or not. We will see. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I got to roll. Bye.